Hello, Internet Infantry, and welcome to this. This is a LK versus SS. That stands for Sammy Synister. It's like a Survivor Series team versus team. We'll be doing a Legends edition. Now, as the Survivor Series feels that time of year, so what we're going to do is, LK, I'm going to pick 5 Legends. Sammy, my partner in crime over there, will pick 5 Legends, and you, the Internet Infantry, have the toughest job. Put in the comments. You only have to put 2 things: either Team LK or Team Sammy. One of the two. So, Sammy, welcome to the show, and how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good since last time I got here. Those 15 minutes ago, for whatever fucking reason, it was being super difficult. Hope you're ready to get raffle stomped, because my team's pretty much unbeatable.
Well, I don't know. My team is, if you built a traditional Survivor Series team from the ground up, Legend style, you would get this. Okay, I'm very proud of this.
I almost picked who I thought your number 1 pick would be just to be a dick.
Well, we'll work our way from number 1 to number 5, and this isn't in order. It's just specific. So I've got a list here, and then at the end we can rotate and announce who's who. So this is gonna be fun. Internet Infantry, make sure you get interactive after the show and during the show. I'm gonna go first. I'm the host. I'll go first. My pick, Chris Benoit.
I knew it! I wanted to pick Chris Benoit just because I knew that's who you were going to fucking pick. It's a good-ass pick, but I knew that's who you were going to take. So
I'm going to get him out the way.
Besides the fact that he's your favorite, why pick Chris Benoit? Why is he your number 1 overall pick?
Because in my list, he is the best pro wrestler in that. He's such a torn with another guy, but I want guys who are great technical, who are great. He can German suplex any of your fuckers. And not to be cruel, if you are being a dick, then I'll just get him to come and murder you.
I told you that super ridiculously offensive picture I saw years and years ago, right? It was right after it happened. And this is gallery humor. It was right after it happened. There was just a toy of Chris Benoit, just a toy. And it's really zoomed far out, and it zoomed farther in, and it zoomed in, and it zoomed in, and it zoomed in. When it finally zoomed in all the way, it said warning choking hazard.
By the way, this isn't a wrestling review. This is just 2 guys having a laugh. So don't expect anything. Just sit back and get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, or alcoholic beverage, or a fizzy drink, and just enjoy it. It's going to be a laugh. So I got Chris Benoit because I think he's one of the best all-time wrestlers of all time. And as it is my personal list, I want to add personal flair to it. And I'm a big fan of Chris Benoit. He was my hero up until he did what he did. So I have Chris Benoit, the wrestler, and I literally have Chris Benoit - wrestler,
The wrestler,
not the human being. So Chris Benoit is on Team LK. Who is your first illustrious pick?
All right. Not my team captain, but the number 1 pick I am taking. It's funny that because I knew that's what you're going to pick, so I immediately thought of this person. I got something on my lip. And so as a counter, I'm going to take the late, the great, Viva La Raza, Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, you see, what you've done there is Chris Benoit has a lot of heat within the, what was it that guy called it? The YWC.
Yeah.
So, because he had a lot of heat, I might get detractors now because I have Benoit, and people are like, oh, Eddie Guerrero is such a nice human being. But so far, what a tour. So I have Benoit, you have Guerrero, 2 of the best technical and all-round great pro. They could do anything. They could do Lucha Libre with their high flying. They could do technical. They could do submission. They can do power. They can do everything. So Benoit and Eddie, what a great start. Here's my next one. Oh, I went for, when Legends... And I thought to myself, just stop. What comes to mind when you think of a wrestling legend? And I have Hulk Hogan.
Not a bad choice. I almost took him.
Hulk Hogan, because of what he done for the wrestling world. Like, I'm now legitimized. I've been the wrestler, and Hogan, who's the draw. I have a draw. And if it wasn't for Hogan, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
Oh, no, not at all.
Wrestling would not be mainstream. We would not be getting views to this. Oh, it's only that wrestling. WWE wouldn't be in England. So we probably would never have met. Hogan, you are God. I bow to you, my friend. Oh, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Hogan is my man, and you have entered the team. Good job. See, now he doesn't care about being on the Hall of Fame or all this money. He cares about being on Team LK. I'm literally getting DMs from him right now saying thanks, brother.
Okay. So I'm going to pick my next one. This person's not only my second pick, he's my team captain, and I am picking him for pretty much the exact same reasons that you picked Hulk Hogan. He's the draw. Wrestling wouldn't be without him. He is what I think of, like the first person I think of when I think legend. He is going to be not necessarily the powerhouse, but he's going to be the guy that leads my team into battle. And that is going to be the one, the only, the maybe greatest of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You son of a bitch. Oh, you bastard. I had Steve Austin. Oh, see, now I got to go back to the drawing board. That will teach me. That will teach me. That will teach me. Shit.
Can you imagine, just like take out the fact that Survivor Series, the match that everyone wanted to see, which was Hogan versus Stone Cold.
We now have that. So just for people joining now live, in case you are, my team so far is Chris Benoit, the wrestler. Sammy's is Eddie Guerrero and Stone Cold Steve Austin. What a battle. Some guy, like there's going to be some internet nerd out there. We're internet nerds, so don't take it to offense. Make a 5-on-5 W2K17 simulation and send it this way. Once we've done all our teams, that'll be so badass.
I'm probably picking it up next. I'm probably picking it up next week, and I can do that. I can make a traditional Survivor Series with these people and make the people that aren't in the game, and we can see who fucking wins.
I'm in the shit. I wanted to buy it, but my girlfriend didn't want because she wanted me to buy it for me for my birthday. Because for my birthday, I'm a tricky motherfucker. I've got everything I've ever wanted. Like, I don't know what I want. So I like games, so she's like, "Yeah, I'll buy you the video games." Like, okay, but that means I have to wait like 2 months because my birthday's in under 31 days. I'll be fucking 20 years old. Immature fucker I am. Anyway, irrelevant. You got Austin Guerrero. That's a good pick. That was one of my picks, and I got to choose wisely here.
That's why, hey man, that's why I picked more than 5, just in case.
I'm doing that now. Oh, I'm going to go with, you know what, he deserves it. I'm going to go with The Undertaker. The Undertaker is my third pick.
I almost took Taker.
Oh, just a legend. You don't need to, like, for a guy to be able to have that character and develop like he has is just a testament to Mark Calloway himself. Any other wrestler, if they were given that gimmick, it would have flopped. Shit. It would have failed. But he is the gimmick. The Undertaker is the... If you ask a casual person who Hulk Hogan is, that's Terry Bollea. If you ask someone who's The Rock, they'll say, oh, okay, that's Dwayne Johnson. You ask someone who's Stone Cold, they'll say Steve Austin. If you ask them who's The Undertaker, they'll say, that's The Undertaker.
He's The Undertaker.
That's The Undertaker. That's a testament to how fucking great The Undertaker is. And that, fuck Hall of Fame, fuck Vince McMahon, you're on Team LK. And sadly, Taker does not have my phone number, so he can't be phoning me on the show. But Taker is my team. Who have you got your third pick?
Okay, so I'm going to go polar opposite. As much as I love Taker, I'm going to go polar opposite. He was the dark, he was brooding, he was the phenom. The phenom. Not anyone else has ever had that title, nor do they ever deserve or will they ever have that title. He's right there. He's right there. But I'm going to pick none other than maybe his greatest foil of all time, Mr. WrestleMania himself. I cannot fucking.
He slaughtered that.
I fucked that up so fucking bad. Oh my god!
DMing me saying, "What's that Chopper doing on the show?"
Can I change my choice now because I fucked that up so bad? Jesus fucking Christ! I deserve to get my internet fame taken away from me. Anything that has to do with wrestling, I deserve. Fucking get taken away. Shawn Michaels. That's who I'm picking. I'm picking Shawn Michaels. Mr. WrestleMania. Potentially the greatest WrestleMania match of all time between those two. Potentially one of the greatest matches of all time between those two.
Now, this one is going to shock you a lot. And I hope it's for good reasons. Now, when anyone else does this team versus team type gimmick, this one is what will not come up. My number 4, Dean Malenko.
Ooh, that's a good-ass choice.
So we now have Benoit and Malenko. That's when I said earlier about the two, like, not sure who's the better wrestler. So we have a guy like Benoit connects to the fans. You have Malenko. He didn't really connect with the fans as such. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying that he didn't get to that next point in his career. It was always cruiserweight division and light heavyweight division when he joined WWE at the time. But this is a guy who is a great wrestler. He can out-wrestle him and Guerrero in a ring. Like, I'm just being honest, my dick just got hard. Like Malenko, Benoit, and Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Austin Hogan in a ring. This really is a legend. And I wanted to, when I write this, I feel good for writing his name. Like, no and other of these lists would Dean Malenko be in. So, Dean Malenko, my homeboy, thank you. You are the man, and you're on Team LK.
Well, for Sammy Synister, our fourth pick, if you will, the person, and again, I picked him for much the same way. He's a name that gets overlooked a little too much. He's one of the greatest technicians of all time. He's going to go to toe-to-toe with any of the damn technicians you have on your team, and that's going to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh, that's a great shout. That is a magnificent shout. Ricky Steamboat. Oh, Steamboat versus Malenko. Wouldn't that be an absolute amazing match?
Be fucking incredible.
Oh, now my last one was a tough one. This was very tough. I was torn between two people. Now, considering I have Dean Malenko as the wrestler of the team, I'm going to have to transcend. And we have Hogan, who's our draw. But to non-wrestling fans, I now have a draw. I have The Rock. The Rock is my fifth man on the team. I'll tell you who I was going to go for after you've announced your fifth person, because I don't want to give you any hints. So I have The Rock as my fifth person. Just one of the greatest of all times again. Like what he's done for the wrestling world. Like, because that is The Rock. Even though it's Dwayne Johnson on the billboards, it's, oh, that's The Rock. And they might check out WWE. So for WWE, he's a great marketing tool. And when he comes back, I'm like a 5-year-old boy with a hard-on. So what is your number 5?
My number 5. So I've got my leader in Stone Cold. I've got my 2 technicians in Steamboat and Guerrero. I have got my crowd pleaser in Shawn Michaels. And then I'm going to pick, in much the same way, the person that is the wrestler's wrestler. That he's the person that influences other wrestlers. The one that's going to be the heart and soul of not just my team, but of the whole fucking match in general. The one and only, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And if you haven't watched his stuff, people want to poo-poo on him. Go watch how good he was. That is the American 3 and baby Dusty Rhodes.
I thought you were going to say John Cena.
Fuck John Cena. Dusty Rhodes, Bubba. The American. So years and years ago, we were watching this special on the network that was like top 100 finishers of all time. They're talking to Dusty, and they're talking about the crossface, crossface chicken wing. And he's like, "Oh, brother, when they get it on you, it's so bad. You're so bad. You be crying for the hot sauce." And so we ran around for like a year, just crying for the hot sauce. And then later on, they were talking about, and he didn't say this. I had to remind myself he didn't actually say this. This was me making fun of him. Emulating him, because Dusty Rhodes is legit the best. But they were talking about Bruno Sammartino and the bear hug. And I was like, in my mind, they didn't talk to him, but if they talked to Dusty Rhodes, they'd be like, "Oh, brother, it was so bad. So bad. It was like a real bear with hugging you. Oh, real bear." And my buddy watching it just looked at me and went, "A wheelbarrow?" You know, this is going to sound weird. I'm going to say the first part of this and then wait for the second part of it and see if people agree, because this has happened before. Do you know how many dicks I would suck to have Dusty Rhodes come back from the dead to do a dramatic reading of 50 Shades of Grey?
One, I hope.
Multiple. I wouldn't care. I'd tell people I did it.
Join it.
I sucked like 13 dicks. Why? So I could bring Dusty Rhodes back to life so he could do a dramatic reading of 50 Shades of Grey. He looked at her in a goddess baby, and he just thought that she was beautiful. And it was just, oh my God, I love Dusty Rhodes so fucking much. I love Dusty Rhodes more than a straight man should.
Right, so we got our 5, right? So Internet Infantry, you can put in the comments right now, or you could wait to the show process and then put them. Either way, thank you for watching. And also, if you want, you could put your team in. So you can put whoever's team you think wins, and then put your team in there so we can see who else you've got. So I have Chris Benoit, Hulk Hogan, Dean Malenko, The Undertaker, and The Rock. And Sammy has Eddie Guerrero, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Ricky Steamboat, and Dusty Rhodes. That is a if you built a pro wrestling match from the ground up, you would probably get that.
When I die and I go to whatever form of heaven that you happen to believe in, I'm going to go to somewhere. It's some small, intimate little ring. It's not some big arena. It's just a small little thing. And there's like 200 to 600 people there. And this is the match I get to watch every single night.
Jesus, I like how they've all matched each other as well. And by the way, we haven't given each other the lists before. If you think
we did not stuff in all.
And also, I was going to tell you who I crossed off with Malenko because I had 6 in the end.
Yeah. Who'd you cross off? I'll tell you my couple.
I felt bad. Mr. Perfect.
Ooh,
I was going to have
that would
Mr.
have been a
Perfect.
good one.
That's a good one. I might regret that. But I just feel bad for Malenko because he never gets any praise.
And I almost put in Macho Man. I really wanted to take Macho Man instead of Shawn, but I went with Shawn.
I was about to say a Stephanie joke, but I stopped myself. Anyway, look at the
Inoki was my wild card. I really debated on taking Inoki.
If we have any live comments. It's a strange time for us to be doing a show, so not expecting much love there in the live chats. We have Sadie James says Team LK. Sorry, Sammy. Traitor. And he says and he also said something I'd watch. I agree, it'd be absolutely amazing. And if anyone does have a YouTube account that has a 2K17 gameplay gimmick, if they did make this match, we would share it. Anyway, that's going to do it again for today. There's so many reviews we did. We just did a TNA, and then we did a Lucha Elite, and then this is our 3rd show of the day. So send us some love by hitting that subscribe button, and then if you hit the bell next to subscribe on your mobile or tablet device, you'll actually get a notification for every time we go live, so you'll never miss a live KocoSports podcast. And I'll be back tomorrow with an Evolve 72, back the day after Evolve 73, starts all again on Monday. And hopefully Sammy will be joining me for the Monday Night Raw review. If not, I'll try and grab someone else on, and that's no promise. It's not an insult, it's a fact of life. My boy Eli Drake, great main event of TNA. Check out the TNA review. Thank you for all the support. I hope you enjoyed this show. Just a bit of fun. This was just a bit of fun because we do so much serious stuff. It's just good to just chill and have some fun. And Sammy, I want to thank you for joining me on the show. Thank you for being part of the team. Thank you, Internet Infantry, for watching. Make sure you all stay safe, stay well. Make sure we put those clowns to rest with my main man, Donald Trump, and we'll be catching your asses down the line.